All right. So, I don't really have much Borderlands stuff planned until I fully get back and up to like another playthrough or anything like that. So I figured, why not do some OP10 FFYLands Digipeak? Because, I normally just cut it out whenever I'm doing like playthroughs and stuff because Digipeak gets very, very repetitive during playthroughs, but just like a one-off is pretty chill. This is a copy of the One Life character that we did a long time ago now, and probably should be fine. I'm literally just gonna run. We're gonna use assault rifle stuff for the most part, I think. Kind of just because I didn't really use it while I was doing my proper playthrough. And also, yeah, it's clearly just like farming dudes. This is the weird thing about Fight for Your Life Lands. The first playthrough, well, actually, the first two playthroughs are weirder, like weirdly harder than the rest. And it is primarily just because of the gear that you have access to. The first two playthroughs, legendaries and stuff like that, don't really drop. And then you get into your higher playthroughs, and then you just have like this extremely good equipment. And I really do wish that it was balanced a little bit better. And I know that some people don't like having level restricted gear or tiers and stuff like that, but I'm totally fine with it. I see it as a way to, have cool equipment, have, progression system in your game and stuff, and just not have people crutch on like the same 5 items the whole way through the video game like you get in vanilla sometimes. But yeah, I get that some people don't like that. I grew up playing games where, you have that type of progression, like Diablo 2, for example. Items physically aren't capable of dropping until past a specific level, or they can't get modifiers until a specific level. Stuff like that, pretty much, is what I am used to, what I've grown up with. I do also play Destiny 2 at the same time, though, where they just try to hand you equipment because the build crafting is just half of the fun of playing the game. And the actual like content is what the end game is instead of like the hunt for equipment. Usually. Of course there are some items from like, dungeons or whatever where you actually have to like finish the dungeon or finish the raid to be able to get it. But like 90% of gear in Destiny is just kind of available surprisingly quickly if you know what you're doing. And even if you don't know what you're doing, you can usually stumble your way into at least a couple items because they do kind of just hand you stuff for playing consistently. Yeah, that's kind of just how I feel about it. And then also, I do want to talk about Borderlands 4 stuff in a little bit. I will be actually reacting to the video properly. I've noticed a bit of Destiny-esque movement and stuff, and I have absolutely no complaints about it so far. I am kind of hopefully optimistic. I want to be a little bit skeptical though, because, I've been burned by BL3 whenever it released. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I like the movement options. The movement options look pretty cool. The double jump, the glide, the grapple hook, all that stuff looks kind of nice to use. So hopefully it is kind of nice to use. We'll see. Let's see if I can get back up here. Yes. Okay. But yeah, we'll just have to see. It's really one of those things. I talked about it a little bit whenever I was looking at Reddit the other day, where I hope that we have like grenade and melee charges like Destiny has as well, because I really, really do like that system. I think it's a really nice system, and I think it would fit into Borderlands pretty well. And I don't know if that's the way they're going, but considering the fact that spells in Wonderlands were like charge based, maybe they are. Be totally okay with it. And then also, yeah, I do want to have actual, like, proper melee weapons. I am fine with the system of, like, oh, you just swing it and, like, oh, hey, there it is. Cool. It's on my screen for a couple seconds. But, like, it'd be really, really cool if we could get an actual weapon you can just physically hold. That'd be super duper nice. It'd also be nice if you could just have like physical melee augments like you have in Destiny, for example, where you have your like shield throw. You can have Flashe Storm, where you just do a slide and then you have a specific melee effect based on the fact that you just slid first. There's just a lot of stuff in Destiny like that that would probably be pretty cool ported over to a Borderlands style game. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we can get something like that. Having a little bit of that unique build crafty stuff, I would totally be down for. We'll see if they do it, but it'd be nice. As someone who plays both games, I would like it. We will see. I don't know how inspired they are by Destiny, though, of course, which, like, it still looks like it to me, but maybe it's just a happy little coincidence. The fact that you can summon a vehicle like you summon a sparrow, the fact that you have a little companion buddy-looking dude that floats next to you whenever you pull him out or whatever. I don't know. We'll find out. Let me try not to die to Dukino's mom real quick. Hold on. We're not, like, in grave danger, but it is still Dukino's mom. Very, very spicy. Fun. There we go. One here. Still like doing the overlap thing, even though this is not a boss where that really applies. Shock lobs do absolutely go through this. Stop. And there we go. Man, Axton's way too OP in this mod. I think I talked about it a little bit whenever I was playing through the first time, but the shields completely negating any damage at all is super duper gross. I don't want them to change it. I think that it's a very unique thing for the Axton in the mod. But I would understand if it received a nerf. Say, like, projectiles could still pass through, but if you're inside of the bubble, you get, like, 90% damage res or something. Like, fair enough. That'd actually probably feel pretty nice, all things considered. But besides that, I don't really know how they would fix it. Guess it's not really much of a problem, though, because how many people play this mod, realistically? Ooh. And also, speaking of problems, the fact that Borderlands 2 is on a 32-bit engine and does not love mods at all. It can get very, very chonky very quickly. I just wish that we had it on a slightly stronger game engine, or if there was a way to just, like, I don't know, upgrade it with mods, or, like, do something like that, but I also assume that that's really, really difficult to do at the same time, and I'm no expert in that. I can drive a car, but I'm not a mechanic type of thing when it comes to mods. I can play them. I'm relatively... I don't want to say adept with Borderlands. I've played for a long time, so I just kind of know what breaks and what doesn't. So I know what to look for whenever I play mods in the same vein, I guess. But yeah, I have no clue how actually, like, modding the game works. And I've had a couple people tell me that I should try it, but I don't know. It's not my type of interest. I just enjoy playing the cool stuff. I enjoy talking about the cool stuff. I am not great at making the cool stuff, I guess. Which, to some people, is also, like, hypocritical, but I don't think it is. It seems really weird for some people to say stuff like that, and, like, I kinda get it. It's like, how could you judge a thing you cannot yourself make? But at the same time, if you've tried out a couple of things from the same variety of thing, you'll start to notice, like, problems with them at the same time. And I know it is a lot of people who just like to argue and debate unnecessarily on the internet and stuff. But to each their own, I guess. I don't know. Okay, we have surveyors. Should be able to just kind of... Yeah, I thought so. I did not like whatever that was. Hold on. Let me get my nuker on for cooldown. Let me get my face rocked for sadness. There we go. But yeah, needless to say, I like mods in BL2. And I hope that BL4 modding potential would be good too. It'll be on a newer engine, so it'll at least be able to stomach stronger mods, probably, hopefully. We'll see. We will certainly be seeing. Who knows? Hey buddy, stay still, please. Here, let's get a little bit of ammo going. Maybe Shrike for this guy? They're just thick. Wonder if he has a shield? I know it doesn't display like one, but he could have on a Rough Rider, for example. There we go. But yeah, the L4 mod potential, I have my fingers crossed that it'll be pretty good. I know it sounds dumb to hope for it to have good modding potential so early, because, like, play the video game first, let it breathe before you start poking it, which I totally will. It took me thousands of hours to even mod BL2. Of course, I'll be more receptive to mods for BL4 now, because I've modded BL2. But yeah, I very much am of the mindset that I like to learn the game pretty thoroughly before modding it. Like, I've played modded Terraria, but I also played Terraria for countless hours first. I play a little bit of some old modded Minecraft, but I've played plenty of vanilla. But yeah, I prefer to, like, at least get my footing and to get a little bit of a knowledge base in the base game before playing mods so that I actually understand what mods are doing, at least to a degree. Of course, sometimes it is fun to just play mods. It kind of just depends on the game. Go. No second Doc Mercy? Oh, okay. Still kind of upset about how this character ended up dying. I mean, it made it to OP10, and it did all of the story progression stuff that it's supposed to technically finish a one life. But the fact that I rushed the dragon fight with this character, just trying to be greedy and to get a bunch of damage out really fast, and having that be the way that the character died ultimately, it's like, yeah, fair enough at that point. If I had just not done that, I wonder how many more raid bosses I might have been able to have fought on the character. Who knows? Gonna wait for cooldown. And also, yeah, this is ridiculous. This equipment is so dumb. The fact that I am just annihilating everything, yeah, it's very dumb. I understand that. We are in True Nightmare difficulty. Actually, I thought we were in Nightmare still. We are OP10. Of course, I do have, like, best of the best equipment in most regards. Some of it's a little underleveled, but most of it's pretty well just maxed out at this point. But yeah, I wish it was a little bit slightly harder, I guess is what I want to say. The early game is plenty hard. Don't get me wrong. The early game is, you can leave it alone. It is nice and spicy. I enjoy the fact that I have to do some TD or Chuck tech sometimes to get DPS out faster, or doing multi-shots and stuff like that to get DPS out faster until I can get actual good equipment. But here at OP10, it's like a point-and-click adventure in most places. I know if I wasn't playing Axton, it'd probably be a little harder. What are you made of? But yeah, it'd probably be a little bit harder because I wouldn't just have infinitely tanky shield to put next to whatever enemy I don't want to fight or deal with. But even still, most characters just can deal with whatever. They just have no problem towards endgame. And I guess if this is what they want it to feel like, then either make early game easier or make late game harder or something. I don't know. Because right now it just feels like an uneven mix of the two. It can be a little bit odd. Also, we're going to go ahead and get cooldown before we get our double Saturn fight, because I know this is going to be kind of annoying. I'm assuming that they have shield pierce with their AoEs. I don't remember. But I'd hate to find out in a worse way, so I'm going to be a little careful. Okay, this is fine. Oh, and this is post-nerf Redeemer. They actually did remove a couple of projectiles from it as well. Hold on, let me get rid of Saturn first before we talk about that. Okay, yeah. So, when you shoot Redeemer, it used to have projectiles that flew back towards the player after it was done, and that's actually how we dealt with Hatterax on Zero, and also kind of on Sal a little bit. And they went ahead and removed those backwards projectiles. I guess it's fair. The gun is still insanely strong, it just doesn't have that use case for Hatterax now. And it still does plenty of damage otherwise. So totally fair there. Let me get a little bit more cooldown. There we go. Oh, so loud. Man, I missed the first time I played this mod. The fact that those turrets shoot so insanely fast is hilarious. I've really, really wanted to watch someone else do a playthrough of this mod, but I only ever I found like one other playthrough, and it was just hour-long, just unedited, raw playthrough stuff, and like I don't have a good attention span, so for me that was kind of a little bit difficult to watch. I know it sounds dumb. I mean, it was kind of nice because you could like click through it and you knew exactly what part of the game they would be at, and there was no fear of them editing out any specific moment in the video game. But also at the same time, I just watching just people walk from point A to point B is not my preference of, well, video, I guess. If I watched it as a background video, I probably would be more fine with it, which I normally do. But since this is a mod I have special interest in, I want to watch, like, them playing the content and not doing the walking to and fro, I guess. So if anyone else wants to go ahead and just play this mod, upload a playthrough onto YouTube, I'd appreciate it. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty darn nice, I gotta say. Would love to watch it. Every once in a while, I type FFYLands into the YouTube search bar to try to find someone else who played it. Just because the reaction to stuff like the Giga Turrets is hilarious. Your first interaction with Bunker, when he just spawns 4 turrets and just mows you down. I mean, you do also get a couple of turrets on Bunker Climb that give you like a heads up of what you're about to experience. But the actual experience of just Bunker is so funny. It's a little overwhelming whenever you first play through. Like, you don't really know how to deal with it because it is just a lot and it puts you down really, really fast. But it'd be nice. If someone else wants to do a playthrough, or if anyone has a playthrough that they've found before, please let me know. because I would love to watch one or two other people play the... Ow. Love to watch one or two other people play through this mod. Oh, right, we have to be weird with binary here. Oh, that's a dead turret. Okay. Respect boss. Right back here. Wait for cooldown. Deal more DPS. Repeat until no more boss. We need BA Slayer for this. Rifleman is nice, but not for what we're doing. And there we go. So yeah, this is normally what I edit out because, you know, there are 10 OP levels to get through nowadays. I say nowadays like it hasn't been several years now, which also makes me feel like expiring a little sooner. Because, oh my goodness, what do you mean? It's been many, many years since Viper Sanctuary came out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of just having a nice little chat, shooting with the dudes a little bit, dealing a little bit of the DPS and the stuff. Just kind of enjoying the night. Hope everyone has a nice rest of their night. See y'all tomorrow.